Gonna go to the opening. You're good. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be great. Good evening. Welcome to the Patriots Raw podcast, coming to you live from America First Media and Television from the America First Warehouse Studio and Venue, the most patriotic venue in all the land. And tonight I have a special co-host with me. We have Tavia, good friend, great patriot. She is from so many places, from Go USA and from American Conservative Artist. And many other hats that you wear.
Yes,
but yes,
true.
well, you're always willing to help the Patriot movement. I know that. So welcome to the Patriots.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I feel like it's long overdue.
Yeah.
Very long overdue. So we have a great lineup tonight. We have John Paul Moran from Go USA, or Grand Opportunity USA, right? Grand Opportunity
USA.
And then we have Peter Tickton, attorney Peter Tickton. You see him all over the news representing the J6ers and most importantly lately, Tina Peters' case that's making some big developments. So we'll get to that in a little bit. We want to wish you all, well, I shouldn't say wish you all, we wished you that last week. We hope you all had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend and that you took some time to honor our fallen and departed soldiers and military. And I want to shout out Angie if you're watching. I hope you're hanging in there. Angie's pretty sick right now, but she is recovering because we have a very big weekend.
Big shoes to fill.
You're going to do great.
Yeah.
You're going to do great.
Thank you.
And yeah, we're going to be celebrating Rudy Giuliani's birthday this weekend. So Angie, get better because I don't want you missing that. And we want to shout out to Donna, our co-host Donna, and her family right now. We're sending huge prayers to you guys. So before we get to John Paul in a little bit, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Tavia. She was in the New York City Department of Education for 36 years. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah.
You miss it?
A little bit. I actually consult one day a week to keep my foot in the door.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
I think when we first met, you were actually working in the school like one day, right? Were you working in?
One day, it was right after COVID. I wasn't allowed to go back, and then
it turned into consulting, which is
Yeah,
great.
which is wonderful,
You have the
yeah.
experience. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
She was always a very strong advocate in the arts, and that's how I know her too. She loves the arts. For the arts for education, helping to bring music, movement, and visual arts into her school through Project Arts. Is that something you created, Project
no,
Arts,
it's
or is
from
that
the city. They would give money to the different schools,
awesome.
and then I would get to spend
their money
the
on
city
good
money
stuff?
on
On good
yeah.
stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
And today she serves as the assistant director and coordinator for a conservative, American conservative artist. Very good friends with Phil Kuza, who's a very good friend of ours and a great patriot. She helps produce the events and showcases the musicians. We've done so many collaborative events here.
It's been wonderful.
And
yeah.
we love having you. We consider them our music ambassadors of the warehouse, and we love that. And actually, Phil will be performing on Saturday at Rudy Giuliani's birthday party. He'll be playing the sax like he always does. Amazing. Yes. We can't wait. So before we get to JP, which I call him, do you call him JP?
I call him John Paul.
John Paul. I always say JP. I'm a nickname girl. I just want to say, if you could bring up Asset One, I just want to show the American Conservative Artist the QR code to reach them at their website. It's AmericanConservativeArtist.com. Check them out. And if you have any questions or concerns for them too, if you don't reach them on the website, you can always reach out to us here at the warehouse, and I will get that to them. And if you can also show Asset 6, this is Camp Brightside, and I'm going to let Tavia explain a little bit about it. That's Asset 6, fellas. I don't know if you have that up yet. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so Camp Brightside is an organization that provides a 1 week of camp for orphan children from the Ukraine and
It's amazing.
Poland. Yeah, and it gives them a little bit of respite for 1 week. And it's a fabulous organization, and they do really good things. And they're trying to help the children who've lost their parents just to feel a little bit of a semblance of normalcy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
it's
beautiful.
great.
We're going to put that on our social media platforms as well. So please check that out. And now we're going to introduce John Paul Moran. So you want
Okay.
to tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, so I'm going to introduce John Paul. I'm going to read a little bit so I don't miss everything. But tonight we're joined by entrepreneur, inventor, and political reformer John Paul Moran, the founder of Grand Opportunity USA and creator of the Ops Score. It's the first ever political credit rating system designed to hold elected officials accountable to the people they serve. And you can almost think of Ops Score basically like a Match.com or credit rating for politicians. And it scores politicians on issues that people care about the most. There are 5 areas of opportunity, and I'm going to let John Paul speak to it. But it's economy, the education, public safety, personal liberty, and protecting our nation and our borders. So I'm going to hand it over to John Paul. Welcome, John Paul Moran, to the show.
Hi,
Thank you.
JP. How are you, my friend? Our friend.
Good seeing
Yeah.
you again, Teresa.
Thank
And
you.
Tavia.
Welcome.
Tavia, thank you. And Tavia also does work as a volunteer here at CoUSA.
You have such. Do you not hear? Do you hear him well?
No.
Fellas, can you put on the house so Tavia can hear John Paul, please? I have it in my ear.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, John. And she was our introduction, her and Phil, the ones that brought you here to the warehouse. I think it was 2 years ago already.
Yes.
I was trying to think about that last night. And she's such an asset to have on the team, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's a mover and a
Thank
shaker.
you.
So
I met John Paul at CPAC.
that's
He was wearing
awesome.
his
Yeah, the
red,
jacket.
white,
I
blue
remember that's how
jacket, and I was like,
that's how I remember him too.
Yeah.
So we have about almost 6 minutes left in this episode. I want this segment. I want you, if you can, and in the next segment we'll get deeper into it. If you could just tell us the inspiration behind OpsCore and what really, brought you to create this awesome stuff.
Well, thank you. And yeah, my goal is what we're doing is to really reform politics in America. And we have a way to do it. It's actually been proven in the 2024 election. And since then, even in the Virginia special election. And really what it is, it's a rating system like, everyone says, where's the Yelp for politics? There is none. Like, where's a trusted resource I can go and hear from my peers and hear whether these politicians are working for us or against us or what? And this came up. I came up with the idea when I ran for Congress. I was the nominee for Congress in 2020 in Massachusetts in the 6th District. And the bluest state in the country, I knew it was going to be a tough battle to win. But I couldn't believe the fact that the majority of the people, like over 80% of the people, I kept numbers on. I'm a numbers guy, an MIT guy originally. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense that you'll lose an election when everybody's with you on the issues. If I was a product in the regular economy, there'd be no.
That's right.
The left would have no power anywhere. And I said, there has to be a way to solve this problem. It's insane that these wackos, maybe there's some also wackos in the far right, hypothetically, right? People that are on the very fringe, what are they doing in power? They have no support, but yet they get in power. So we came up with a rating system that really does work kind of. It's almost unbelievable how powerful it is. It just shows where they stand on all the issues that matter to people: economy, borders, crime, environment, elections, and many more. But that's just a few of the top ones. And where do you stand as a voter? And then how can you line up to see who's with you and who's against you? We do importantly have the Constitution in there as well. So when we rate, we give a positive ratings for when the politician's working for the people and or the Constitution, and negative if they work against either, because the law of the land is the Constitution. That's the framework. So we put the Constitution first, but beyond that, most issues are not constitutional. Most of them are 85% of people want voter ID, right? Most people want secure borders. The vast majority of people want clean energy, but they don't want to give up their gas cars and their gas stoves and their gas heating.
Right.
And it's all common sense. So that's what it is. It's called the OPS score, OPP, as an opportunity score. We're Grand Opportunity USA. Opportunity is the name of the game because that's not partisan, right?
That's right.
The land of opportunity, if you Google America, one of the synonyms for America is land of opportunity. Okay,
That's
we are
right.
supposed to be land of opportunity. We're losing that. We're losing the American dream. We're losing the land of opportunity because of leftist policies that nobody wants, but yet these freaks, and I'll call them freaks, if you're pushing crap that we don't
Yes.
want, it's unconstitutional, is against the will of the people, and you're shoving it down our throats, like, the SAVE Act should be passed by now, 90% of people want
Yes.
it. It's these corrupt scumbags, and not just on the right, or not just on the left, I'm sorry, not just on the far left. We have people, rhinos in our party that are against the SAVE Act, and everybody wants it. It's only corruption and fraud and deceit and deception is the reason why they're getting away with this. So I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Another feature of the op score is not just the ratings on like the them versus you on the issues, which shows that 85% of Americans, if we can take it to the bank, that's the number, on the issues, 85, it's been 1,000 times verified. This is not up for debate. 85% of people are with, are at least moderately with America First policies, 67 strongly, but 85 will pick a Republican over a Democrat, America First Republican over a leftist, in other words. So that's the numbers. And if enough people, it basically comes down to this, on the issues, if people go by the issues, they vote America First 85% of the time.
It's a good number.
Yeah. So John Paul,
to win elections. This shouldn't be this hard, guys. We
Right,
have
so-
the vast majority of people on our side, but we can't figure out how to convert them to votes. That's what the GOP score does. It just makes it, just line yourself up. You can take a quick test, a quick quiz. It takes 2 minutes to take the GOP score express. You get a rating, you match up on the same number scale, -5 anti-opportunity to +5 pro-opportunity. You can go into the ratings and see point to point to point where they stand and where you stand. It's so common sense. We've got to get it out there, because if this gets out there, midterms and every other election after that, we're not going to have a problem.
So it's helping to make voters become more informed voters, so they know who they're voting for, basically. And what you're finding is many people are not aligning with their politicians who represent them. They're not really representing them. That's what they find
It's
out.
amazing. Now,
That's right. They're not representing you. If they're
Right.
working against you on almost every issue,
Right. Why would
which
you
the
vote
far
for them?
left does,
Yeah, yeah.
So that's it. So that's what the op score does. We encourage everybody to go to oppscore.org. That's the website, or Grant Opportunity USA. We have another website for that for our nonprofit. And if you go there, you can look at ratings. You can take the quiz yourself. And very soon, we're going to have the matchups. So once the primaries are done for the most of the country by around July, you're going to be able to see, okay, this is like a ballot. Here's your representatives for Congress. Here's your senators. If your state has senators up for election, here's your governor. If your state is governor up for election. Now you can go and you can match yourself up that way.
That's awesome.
And you need to get it out to every voter. Every voter should take the op score. Every voter everywhere, and we'll be good.
that's awesome. And I know there's a slogan. We're about to go to commercial. What is it? Me versus you. Tell
It's
me.
not red or blue.
It's
It's not me versus you. It's them versus you.
them
right?
versus you. That's
Yeah.
right. We'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW, making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single Justice for All with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round 2. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Welcome back to the Patriots Raw. Thank you for tuning in. We have John Paul Moran with us from Grand Opportunity. Why do I keep messing that up? Grand Opportunity Score?
Great opportunity,
USA. Oh my God, US. Go USA. I'm a horrible host. I couldn't remember that. It's a long day here on Tuesdays. But we just wanted the slogan we were saying before we went to commercial break.
Right. It's not left versus right or red versus blue. It's really them versus you. And then there's another slogan, stop voting blind, start matching smart. And that's what the Ops Score helps to do.
It's good stuff. So, do you want to tell us more? You were going to tell us more about, you said I'll come back to that in a moment. I'll let you
John,
take the floor from here.
Yeah, why don't you tell them about some of the new stuff that you're adding to the website?
Yeah, so let me go. So let me say a couple things. So first of all, in the 2024 election, we went and we saw the most competitive races for the U.S. Congress and the House and the Senate, and we have proof that we reached more people and converted more people than the margin of victory for 11 House races and 1 Senate race. Wow. In other words, we were very, very influential in the 2024 election. Even though we didn't get a lot of press, we're not on every single show. We're not blitzed everywhere. I wish we would, because it was very impactful what we did. But we won 1,000x that this year. But it does take, we do need resources and people to support us. So, but that being said, we are now taking it up another level. We have a new OpScore website in development, which is going to blow the doors off of anything that ever existed before. Right now, you go to opscore.org, you can see ratings of all your politics. Everybody in office right now in the federal level is rated. We are also working on rating everybody that's challenging, so we have the matchups, at post-primary. So wherever you are in America, you'll be able to see who you're going to pick from in the ballot, okay? Now we're going to go take it another level. We're adding about a dozen different new functions to this website. It's going to have a real-time tracking of everybody in office on all the issues, not just like months ago, but as they make votes, as they make changes, as they make statements, their score will change like a credit score. You know how your credit score goes up and down almost every day? And the stock market goes up and down almost every day?
That's great.
Well, it's the same idea of constant monitoring and tracking these people. And we're adding a new layer called the Dirt Alert.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So
They
the
want to track us. Now we're tracking them.
Right.
That's right. So now, they're tracking us. They can go after us. They can close down our bank. They can, they can do all kinds of, you don't pay your taxes, you go to jail, right?
That's right.
They have all kinds of controls over us. Well, now it's time they work for us. We're their bosses. And you wouldn't know that, right? Well, we're their
Absolutely.
bosses. So
That's how it's
this
supposed
is
to be.
the ultimate site that not only tracks where they are on the issues, so now you do the Match.com of politics. You take the OpScore challenge. It's called the OpScore challenge. Go to the site. You take a short quiz. You see where your number is, and then you match up. So it makes voting simple. You don't have to listen to any more attack ads anymore. You just say, this is where I am. This is where they are. I'm voting for myself. Done, right? Then we adding the Dirt Alert. And the Dirt Alert, people kept saying to us, oh, what about fraud? What about corruption? What about extremism? What about this hypocrisy? What about the money trap? Well, those things aren't things they vote on. People don't vote to say, yes, I'm fraudulent, right? They don't vote to say, yes. So we have to go and do something that's not really going to be so subjective. It's going to be, so objective. It's going to be a bit more subjective. It's going to be these issues, we call them the seven deadly sins, the 7 political sins.
Love that.
And politicians are guilty of one or more of the
Right.
7 political sins. So, things like and it's not just us coming up with these ideas. It's setting up parameters that we use. Elon Musk Grok AI is the engine behind the OpScore AI engine. And we're going to be looking for evidence from reliable sources of fraud, which is a big one. Fraud. Are they involved or supporting any level of fraud or corruption? All right. And we want to be able to pull that out and give it to the voters to see as this comes up. You hear all the time about Spanberger in Virginia. They had no idea she was such a radical. She got in. It turns out she's a radical. You know what?
That's right.
This would be found earlier. Our system was employed then. This new system is going to catch all that and expose hypocrisy. Not little things, but big things. If you say you're going to do one thing and you completely go 180 degrees, like for example, Spanberger did in Virginia, I'm not going to try to redistrict. She did it as soon as she went in, right? Liar. This is what we want to catch from people doing, whether they're on the left or the right. So hypocrisy, fraud, deception, the money trail. Who's giving them money?
Follow the money.
Right, absolutely.
Follow the money. That's 90% of the time they're doing the bidding of their boss.
That's right.
Which is not us. It's the people that fund them. So that has to end. So all of this stuff plus extremism, extreme examples of racism and bigotry. These are things that we're going to be tracking. And insider trading, all that. Isn't that going to be fun?
I can't. I was going to say, I'll be all glued to this all day long on my phone.
No one's ever done this before, and so it's going to be sizzling. We have news reports. We're going to be, as we grow, we plan on having more information, more news reports. But we want this to be the objective watering hole that everybody can go to say, this is the most trustworthy source on these politicians. And then with their score, you'll look up under, Senator Warren, for example, from Massachusetts. You'll see all the shenanigans, the dirt alert, the ratings, and we're going to allow people to interject and then make comments. You have to be approved. You have to be a registered voter. There can't be any spam in this system. So we're going to make sure you're vetted to be, to join the platform, and you'll be able to do all kinds of things and get information that no one else, that's not really, no one else is privy to. So we want this to really be the definitive place to go, not just when you're voting every 2 years or maybe every year for special elections, but give or take, these cycles. It's going to be a constant, like a body cam and a baby monitor.
I love this.
And bracelet all together.
That's incredible.
Fellas, the bracelet, the body cam, and the baby monitor on these people 24 hours a day effectively.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But not going to go into their personal lives. We're not going to do anything crazy. But all the professional stuff and all the
you're judging them on what we elected them for. That's perfect. That's very necessary.
And then the comments are going to be interactive, you said?
Yeah, we're going to allow people to comment on.
You sure you want me commenting?
Sort of like Facebook, I guess. Yeah.
Really quick, I just want the control room to bring up Asset 3. If you guys can bring that up a couple of times while John Paul's talking, just so they can see where to go. If you scan that or go to www.go-usa.us, you'll be able to get this information. I just want the audience to see that. Screenshot that, please, and check it out.
Yeah, that's a new updated website, so it's real exciting.
That's all. I did go on briefly yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Go USA website's updated. When you go there, click on the Ops Score to learn more about the Ops Score. But there's a lot more that we do. We're for educating the public on the issues and delivering the American dream and opportunity. So we do a lot in a lot of different areas. But the Ops Score is sort of our defining app.
That's great.
So you can go and click. You can find the Ops Score all over the website. You can again look at ratings and take the Ops Score challenge. But when we launch the new op, now the thing is this. I always say, as a Christian, I say, what would Jesus do? And as a conservative, I'd say, what would Jefferson do? Jefferson's my sixth-generation great uncle.
I was just going to say, you have a relation. I remember that.
Yeah. The Jesus Jefferson, I think that's two great role models for politics and for faith. And
Amen.
So July 4th, a big anniversary that my great uncle had something to do with, writing the Declaration that was published on that date. We're going to have our new website up and ready by the July 4th, if not a little bit earlier.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's going to be very exciting. It's a lot of resources being put into that website, and we are going to be doing an event on June 27th in Billerica, Massachusetts, we played a pivotal role in the Battle of Lexington and Concord, right next door, the Minutemen of Billerica.
Oh, I love that.
Were absolutely essential to that fight. So it's got a lot of history. So we're going to invite people to come up to Billerica. We're also going to go to Lexington go to the Lexington Battle Green that day and earlier in the day. And we're going to be, and I'll be.
That's cool.
Have a barbecue.
That's real cool.
Yeah.
Are you going?
Yeah, of course I'm going to be there. Yeah.
Oh,
You're
man.
invited.
I think I'm taking a road trip maybe.
Yeah.
It's going to be busy here.
It'll be fun.
I would
Everybody
love
take a road trip
to.
up.
There's so much happening around America 250 right now for the Patriots. I don't know where to turn in July. We have a lot going on. But do you have a flyer for that event? If you do, send it to me. And
I'll send it to you.
We'll post it for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And eventually we're going to have to do one here in this building, right? We're going to have to do an event here.
Right.
So.
Yes, we'd love to come down for that. And we're only 250 once, all right? And
Absolutely.
I'm not sure we'll be here for the next around at 500 years. I'm guessing I will
No,
be.
but you know what? Lego Man, the J6er, was here last week, and he made a very good. He said we have to keep fighting so we can at least get another 250 years. Like the time is
absolutely.
now.
Right.
We could celebrate this, but we have a lot of work to do. And that's why on this show I like to highlight anybody who's on this side of things. Like, this is so important. Everyone's doing something in their niche thing that's so important for the whole movement. So I really love this. And all the candidates that come to me and ask us for help, I always say, you can have an event here, we can bring you on. I always talk about you. I give them a Project Civica. Like, thank God for you guys having that, it's a nice resource for the candidates to have as well.
Yeah, and a lot of the candidates that are going to be filling out the form, we're going to do a side-by-side for them of who they're running against. So
yes.
Right?
That's
So-
very, very important. Yeah,
Yeah.
Very
Octavia's-
important.
So we've trained AI very well to the score. So it's not like it's doing it on its own. We put a lot of resources to create OpScore AI to make these scores accurate. But your score is generally more accurate and better if you're the candidate filling out the survey. So we encourage everybody to fill out the survey. Your score is only generally going to get better as a rule if you complete it. Because we don't know the answer, where are you on free speech on campus. That's not something everybody talks about, but that's an important one. So we're going to have to give you a 0, like unknown for that if we don't know. So it's better for you to fill it out as a rule. It might not be so better for you if you're on the far left, because you might actually do worse, but not worse. Actually, you'll do better with your constituents, because if you're far left and you're negative 3.5 anti-opportunity score, then your far left anti-opportunity voters will like that. So we do really truly say the system match you up with who you align with. We have the inside numbers, though, which we're public about, that only 15% support the Democrat Party on the issues, the far left Democrat Party, which is in control today. That being said, take the OpScore challenge, and then if you're a candidate, please take the survey. If you go to the website, you go to OpScore, you go to the upper right, it'll say politician survey. So if you fill
awesome.
that out, it'll be more accurate.
Is that something I should do again? It's been a while.
You could do it again, yeah.
Just to see
just to see if it changes.
let's try it again.
Views might have changed based on what's going on in the world.
Take the OpScore Express, gives you a ballpark, and it's 2 minutes. If you want a side-by-side close to more of an exact match, you take the full challenge.
That's excellent.
Which takes a few more minutes, but it lines you up really well. So, I mean, people spend all kinds of time and money to watch a movie, right? 2-hour
It
movie
is.
and $25.
That's right.
They'll
Let's do
look at
this.
20 ratings on a movie.
So listen, we only have 30 seconds left.
Score.
It's awesome, and that's a true point. I just want to bring up the Asset 3 again. Go USA website with a QR code so you can check out. There you go. All right. Yes, please scan that, screenshot that so you can check it out. We'll have John Paul back on again. This goes so fast. Thank you so much, John. This goes so fast, these segments.
believe it.
but
Yeah, thanks.
We'll
Thank
bring
you.
you.
Please donate, too. Please donate.
Yes.
It takes money to do this, so please donate generously, because it takes money to change the world.
Absolutely,
We
it
can't do
does. So thank you so much, JP. We love you.
Thank you.
very
Bye.
much. We'll be right
See you
back.
soon.
Thank you.
250 years ago, a nation was born. Built on courage, driven by freedom, defined by patriots who stood their ground. Today, we don't just remember that legacy, we wear it. This is more than a shirt. It's a symbol of strength, freedom, and pride. I'm Steve Stern, COO of theflagshirt.com, and I invite you to celebrate 250 years of the United States with us. Wear your pride, stand for something, get your shirts today.
Politics feeling broken? What if you could match with politicians the way you match on a dating app, but based on real values? Meet OpScore from Go USA, the first ever values-based political matchmaker. Think Match.com for elections that aligns voters with politicians. We score politicians on a nonpartisan scale based on your priorities. Track your politician scores and take our OpScore Challenge survey to match with leaders who align with you at opscore.org. Stop voting blind. Start matching smart. Politicians work for you.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino podcast coming to you from the America First warehouse.
Welcome, everybody, to the James Justice Show, tearing these airwaves apart with all the craziness that goes on in the world.
Welcome to the Patriots podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
The America First warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
John Paul.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to the Patriots Raw podcast. I am hosting with my good friend Tavia tonight. It's awesome to have you here. Thank you.
It's fun to be here.
Especially on a last minute's notice. Angie, we hope you're feeling better. We miss you.
Yes.
We do have Peter Tickton. He should be on soon. They confirmed with me this morning, so I'm sure he'll be on, although he's a very busy man. I will give you a quick, I'll do the introduction now, and then we'll chat. Hopefully he'll be on soon. But, you know, for those that don't know, Peter Tickton is the founder and senior managing partner of the Tickton Law Group. And you can reach them there at www.legalbrains.com. He has decades of courtroom experience and has handled cases on both a state and federal level. Mr. Tickton has known President Donald Trump since both men were 16 years old.
Wow.
And the two of them have remained close friends since. Peter Tickton wrote a book, What Makes Trump Tick? Tell him the truth about his history with Trump. Peter has in-depth information regarding Donald Trump's legal case against Hillary Clinton, Deborah Wasserman Schultz, John Podesta. Wow. That's what I want to know about.
Yeah.
The J6 investigation, and most recently, the Tina Peters case. And hopefully, Peter will be on with us soon. His assistant did confirm me this morning. They were very on top of it. They're great, him and his team. So many of you this weekend probably saw Tina Peters highlighted a lot in the news in Colorado. The J6 corner went down there. They were the good friends of ours who were down at the J6 corner outside of the Gulag in D.C. So we had, the dynamic threesome, Mickey Withoff and Tammy and Nicole Ruffett, and they were down there, and they brought a bunch of Patriots down. Enrique was there. I believe our good friend Sarah Carpenter was there, and
yeah.
Susan, and I think Shane Jenkins. I believe I saw Mr. Pollock, which is Olivia's dad. She was on our show last week. And so it was really great to see the group back together again. And you saw Tina in the windows making the heart, love you signs to the crowd and waving to everybody.
She's an angel mom also,
She
right?
is.
Yes.
She
yeah.
lost a son. I only learned that this weekend.
Me too.
I saw her son in the window, and they were talking about it. What a true patriot, holding the line. And it's a really sad situation when you become a political prisoner in this country.
No, absolutely. I mean, I just did a little research before coming on. I didn't know much about Tina Peters prior to Sarah sharing it with me, Sarah
great.
Carpenter. And I watched a video of when she was in court, and the judge was so rude to her, calling her a charlatan, and all she was doing was telling the truth.
That's right.
So I was just amazed at justice is supposed to be blind, but
It sure
it's
is.
really not blind at all. It's
No, not when the Patriots that
tiers
were
of
fighting
justice.
back the last 6 years.
Right.
I mean, she got a 9-year sentence.
I know.
And
It's
she's
a
already
lot.
served almost 2 of them. But the great news is, and I really was hoping Peter could really announce this, that she's being freed on June 1st. I got chills when I said that.
Very exciting.
God bless her. She's in her 70s. I mean,
She doesn't look it, though.
she doesn't. She's beautiful. She's
Yeah.
a beautiful woman. She really is. But, this is not what you do to someone who's,
No.
been a good, decent member of society their whole life. And she was just doing her job. Tina, I'll keep going for now, but Tina, in case you guys don't know, she was a former Mesa County, Colorado clerk, and it was her high-profile battle over the election system access after the 2020 election made her a national figure in the election integrity movement and a vocal advocate for government transparency and accountability, which people like us love. She was convicted to the 9 years, sentenced to 9 years, and many of us feel that she was unfairly and unjustly punished. And to us, or to me anyway,
Yeah.
she's a political prisoner.
Absolutely. I mean, I read something about Pennsylvania. There was a guy, 25,000 illegal voter registrations and people voting, and he got 1 month.
1 month.
1 month.
She got 9 years. He got 1 month.
Yeah, and she
So-
was doing something about fraud, that was legitimate. And
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy. So, all right, good job,
thank you.
Angie.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Angie.
doing it.
Yeah,
I know she did it last. I know the Patriots. We did it last time. John Paul's on. That's why I wanted to see if we should do it again. All right.
It's good to do it again because things change in the world, and your views of things may have changed. And
Well, that's what I'm thinking
yeah.
too. And I know that he's always updating the questions, right? Of the candidate.
Pretty
Right,
much.
there's a lot of updates.
The questions are pretty standard now, on the 5 different areas of opportunity.
Okay.
Border, economics, education, safety.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was upset at first. I didn't get like the highest
I
score,
know.
but he explained that that's okay.
It is okay. You don't need to be all the way either extreme.
Well, I like to be really one-sided and all the way extreme.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But it's a really good thing because I know that many people in my own family, they'll just go to the voting booth and they'll go, anyone who's got a D next to their name, they'll vote. And they have no idea what they stand for or anything. And this opens their eyes to see whether or not their elected officials are truly representing what
That's right.
their needs are.
Which is
important.
It is important. So we're going to just
keep talking?
Keep talking
All
at this
right.
point.
Well, it's great to
So
be here. I
it
was a
is-
little nervous. I have to admit, I was nervous, but it's
I wasn't
nothing to be
nervous having
about,
you on.
yeah.
I knew right away you would be a great fit
It's a great
here.
space, yeah.
I've worked with you on many different things, and I knew you'd be great. So you want to tell us more about American Conservative Artists?
Sure. The American Conservative Artists is an organization that is working to unite the music, film, art industry together to be all in one and have almost, we're trying, what our goal is to have our own Academy Awards here. Like, forget
can't-
about Hollywood.
When you
know.
say here, you mean like here,
We
right?
could do it here, right here in the warehouse. Yeah, and we sort of represent and try and bring artists together whose voices have been silenced over the last couple of years and try and bring people who have a story to tell through
I
their
love that.
music, through their art, through their dance, through their drawings, and who don't really have much a place to really
Which is awesome.
to do
well,
it.
they always
So-
have a place here, you know
Yeah.
that. And you brought some great artists to us.
Yeah, we
and
had
some
Peter
wonderful-
Vamos, and
that was.
yeah. And recently, I was involved with another organization dealing with children. So we're going to try and do something maybe with Peter and young children
love
playing
that.
the violin.
Oh, I love that.
So Phil has an idea in mind. Phil Kuza is the leader and
The founder, right, like the
brainchild
brain
of
behind
American
it.
Conservative Artists. He's working real hard to try and get his message out and what he wants to do. He has strong convictions about
Yes,
this.
but behind every good man is a strong woman behind him,
thank
and
you,
she
thank
does.
you.
They did a beautiful event here, and we're grateful. In fact, I can't wait to introduce you this weekend to Make Music Right, which is Chloe Castillo and Chris
right.
Macchio, and then I have I'll say friend now, Jim Altamore, who I don't like to say. He doesn't like us to say Frank Sinatra impersonator because it's not really what he is, but he sounds like Frank Sinatra, and he
yeah.
looks like him, and he's like
Oh,
he's,
wow,
he's got
that's
that.
great.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I realize I'm giving away
quiet?
some secrets.
All
Okay,
right,
that's
no
okay.
more,
We're not
no
going to tell you more. I'm just going to introduce you to him, and then
Okay.
we'll talk more about that after next week. But yeah, and then we have Ben, who's he is an
Elvis
Elvis impersonator.
impersonator, yeah,
Ben will be coming to us in August.
It's a
who we-
50s party,
It's
right?
a 50s party. Yep, we're
That'll be
putting that
great.
together now. There's so much happening this summer. We're trying to do a lot of things around America 250. So some of our, we have concerts here and we have car shows and stuff like that always, but we're trying to really gear all of it right now around, America 250 and celebrating this great country.
Right.
So 50 sounded like like a 50 sock hop sounds so American.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like that's
American pie,
yeah,
some apple pie.
you need
here.
like
Yeah.
your regular, barbecues, regular American stuff, the classic cars show. That all seems, so American to me. So we're going to do a lot of really cool stuff like that.
Do you
Do
see
we have someone logging in?
yay.
I see the great Peter Tickton logging in.
Here we go.
So I'll give him a minute to get situated. Very exciting. Oh, I came out of my notes.
No, I got him here if you want.
Well, I got it. Hi, Mr.
Peter.
Tickton.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Busy
I'm trying to get
man.
centered here.
You got so much spare time lately to give to us. You can't be busy at all these days, huh?
Well, there's an expression. I don't know whether to do something or go blind. I'm just beside myself, because all kinds of things have been happening lately. With the governor giving given commutation of Tina Peters' sentence.
Thank God.
That, coupled with the benefits that are now going to be going to the J6ers and the other people weaponized against. I mean, I've got about 400 clients that are J6. So yeah, I know it's huge.
It's amazing. So we did give an introduction to the audience about you, just so you know. So they kind of got an overview, and I know we'll want to touch upon. So we only have about a minute left here on this segment. So I don't know if you want to tell us a little bit about Tina, and then in the next segment we'll get to some of the J6 stuff and elections.
Well, finally we're getting some sense about a lot of things, and Tina Peters is just one of them. I wish that the Department of Justice would have gotten her out long ago.
Oh, absolutely.
But, we can't go back in the past, and so it never happened. They never had the, let's call it intestinal fortitude to do the right thing.
That's right.
I'm trying to keep it clean. That's why I just, I'll use.
That's okay. We're tough New Yorkers. It's good. We can take it.
I know. I'm from the Bronx.
Right. That's right.
A Bronx guy.
Yeah.
We have that's what I say about New Yorkers. Also, Peter, we have a special grit that the rest of the country doesn't have, which is why I think you have been, able to take on these very challenging cases. And thank God for you.
Thank you for doing that. Yes. Thank you so much.
I'll tell you, once you get in this war and once you start doing the things you do, you can't stop. So, and there's so many things that I'm able to do where I'm not making any money at all. I mean, I'm not charging, and I never charged a J6er.
Amazing.
Or,
amazing.
or any of the pardon work I did. I thought there was, I kept telling people I was one of a chorus of people that were pushing President Trump to make sure we had the pardons on day one. But I can't find anybody else that was in the chorus. I just assumed that everybody was asking for the same thing. And maybe I was a chorus of one, but at least it worked. It didn't matter.
Thank God.
So we got that done the first day. And then, of course, then there are the ones that didn't get out yet. They're all out now pretty well. But so I had to do a lot of work on that to get those others out, where I represented Stuart Rose and Ricky Torres as well, and of course a number of others. So, but that is going to be a miracle. I mean, there's so many J6ers whose lives have been completely ruined. I mean, nobody understands it or sees it, and the fact is, a lot is going to be coming out in the next month or two. Okay, we know that we have Maduro. Okay.
All right.
Thank God.
And, thank God. Now we also have his bookkeeper.
Oh, wow.
Because now we're friends with Venezuela. So now Venezuela is honoring our request for extradition. We don't have to go in there and seize anybody else. We're getting them. We're going to get everybody we need.
That's great.
And so we're going to be able to prove to the country. I mean, even the most staunch left-wing fool, we're going to be able to get them to understand and believe that the election really was rigged in 2020. And, believe me, Biden didn't get 81 million votes. I mean, the thing is, you know it, I know it, most of America knows it. The only ones that don't know it are the same kinds of people that get Trump derangement syndrome, where they will not, what is it? There are none so blind as he who will not see. And I think in this case, that's really what's going on in this country. Well, we're going to be able to shove it down their throats if they don't want to see it, because they're going to taste it and ingest it, because there's not going to be any choice. Once we have the people that were behind it, okay, the worst part of the insurrection of 2020, and that's what it was, okay? Don't think for a second that it wasn't an invasion and an insurrection. We had a lot of people that were traitors in this country and were willing to subvert. Nothing less.
Peter, do you think that the real insurrection happened on November 3rd of 2020 when they tried to overthrow a U.S. presidential election and J6 was the cover-up? That was the insurrection, right?
Yes, they didn't try to do it. They did it.
Right.
And we have proof. We know what the machines are capable of doing. And it's all coming to roost. It's all coming up. I mean, the idea of going into Venezuela and getting Maduro, I don't know who came up with that idea. It's the kind of thing Donald Trump would think of himself, maybe, but he's one to
so.
give credit. But whoever came up with that idea deserves some kind of a medal, because that's I didn't think of it.
Well, you've been a little busy.
Well, I know, but I think of a lot of things.
I think that's him with exercising the art of the deal, which is really what he's brilliant at, honestly. I think he set a precedent, like, this is what's going to happen to you, world, if you don't, we're coming after you. And I love that he operates like that.
Well, we had to do it in Venezuela because they're stealing our country. I mean, okay, because it's not Venezuela. It's Venezuela who had the Serbians do the programming and the Sequoia machines, and then the Smartmatic, and then Dominion machines. Right. It's all the same programming. And then they had the, just for the participation, they're actually not just exporting cocaine and fentanyl, or they used to not only export cocaine and fentanyl, they were exporting election results to 72 countries. The United States is only one of them. And when we start seeing this and seeing it come out with real explanations of what happened in 2020 and how we were really invaded by China, Iran, in part, the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
But the election machines, I don't think the Ukraine had much to do with that. They had a lot to do with January 6th. See, that's the thing.
Wow.
Right now, half the people in this country think that the people that, where that fund was set up, the January 6ers, they think that they're garbage. They think that these people are just the lowest of the low. They think that they killed 5 police officers, these are all lies.
Right. Lies.
This is all false. January 6th was a planned event, okay? It didn't happen spontaneously. It's not that we had a whole bunch of protesters and all of a sudden things got out of whack. It was planned in advance. And we have videos of the left, of their meetings on Zoom, where they were planning it, where they were literally planning to break the windows of the Capitol building so people could go in, unlock the doors, open the doors up, and start ushering the crowds of protesters into the building. I mean, we have it. As far back as September of 2020, well before the election. And then we know that believe me, the 274 FBI agents and informants and whatever that were there, they didn't just arrive spontaneously on that date.
That's right.
That was also planned in advance. So, these things, they knew it was coming. It was the burning of the Reichstag. When Hitler he wasn't elected chancellor. People misunderstand what happened there. They got a plurality of the votes. Okay, not that it makes all that much difference. And then Heidelberg wanted to put Hitler in some place where he could never get any power, so he made him chancellor because that was the weak position. But he took that position, and then, a week, 2, I don't remember exactly when, but then they burned down their equivalent of our Capitol building, the Reichstag. And when they burned that down, that caused so many people to be just as angry as we saw with January 6th. When you attack the Capitol, people react. And they knew this because of what happened with the Reichstag. And then they of course, blame it all on the protesters and on MAGA, and tried to blame it on President Trump as well,
right,
with false evidence. I mean,
that's right. That's wild, right?
Yeah. Is Peter still on?
That's all right. Might be a connection. That's okay.
Can I ask a question? Do you think there'll be any arrests being made? That's what people keep saying. Like, we're not seeing anyone get arrested for what they've done.
I think that Todd Blanche is going to be like a rock star in the next few weeks and months.
Wow.
I still need to be the one to be the Attorney General. Because
yes, we want that so bad.
Well, the thing is, I can explain that too, but you said there was only 1 minute, and I think I'm already on.
No, we skipped commercial break. You have 8 minutes left in this segment, so.
All right, so let me explain to you what's wrong with the DOJ, okay? What's really wrong with it, and a good number of your audience are going to know that what I'm saying is absolutely true.
You know who's clapping in the background, Peter? That's Farmer Gary from Texas. Gary, the J6 expert, that's him clapping in the background.
For what you're saying,
he says that you refer to him as Farmer Gary, so shouting him out.
Farmer Gary, he lost his farm. Gary was so involved with, he became obsessed with the
J6 footage.
What he was, the J6 videos, because he was fine. He's the one that found the video.
Yep.
They didn't release everything, but they did release the video of some unruly protesters, and nobody saw it that when they released it. But Gary actually is the one that caught the Capitol police officer, that woman who was just beating Roseanne Boylan, literally not just to death, but even after she was beaten. After she died, she was still being beaten, according to what I understand.
She was.
You can tell post-mortem battery as opposed to before death. Gary he's a hero in my book.
He is. Thank you. I was at J6, and he knows more than I do, and I was there that day. So I want to let you finish your thought before. I'm sorry. He wanted me to let you know we said hello.
Okay. Well, now he knows what I think of him. So
that's phenomenal.
Don't let it go to your head, Gary. But I think you're in good mental shape.
That's
Thank
great.
God, not all J6s are.
I know.
What they went through is just horrendous.
Yeah, it's horrible.
But with the Justice Department, like around the turn of the century, I looked it up. 1998, 32% of all crime were drugs. Okay,
wow.
And for the most part, it was marijuana. And when I say drugs, I mean possession, trafficking, importing, growing, or other soft types of drugs where they were manufacturing as well. But the fact is that the decriminalization basically reduced the amount of crime that we have by a staggering amount, by about 25%.
Yeah.
But they didn't lower the number of police, and they didn't lower the number of prosecutors. So the way I said it, there just aren't enough bank robberies to go around.
Right.
So these people that are still there, these prosecutors, they have to rationalize their existence, not just to others, but even to themselves. So they end up finding people that are innocent, that look a little bit like they were doing something wrong or whatever, and they go after them as though it's major crime. So they become the enemy of the people instead of the heroes of the people. They become the enemy. They are prosecuting innocent people. But then along came this genius, what I consider an evil genius, Merrick Garland. Okay, yeah. Because he took this energy of surplus policing and surplus prosecutions and directed it at certain directions. So we went after doctors who prescribed ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, or were against the jab. They went after they went after so many. They went after police officers where anybody suggested, rightly or wrongly. Okay, if rightly it wouldn't be so bad, but sometimes wrongly, where they went after them for excessive force. They went after people that were involved in cryptocurrency, first debanking them and then destroying them with criminal prosecutions. They went after, of course, friends of Donald Trump like Peter Navarro. They went after Donald Trump himself. They went after parents that went to Board of Education meetings. But worst of all, and far the worst, they went after MAGA people. Oh, by the way, going after the J6ers is also part of this. And that was important because what do you have with J6ers? People that saw that the election was stolen. So they're the most perceptive people in America that couldn't stop, that had to go to Washington to deal with it because it was eating them up, because they couldn't stand the fact that our election was stolen in 2020, and they knew it. So that was the spear of the whole American public. They went after them with a vengeance because they had to. The enemy was in charge now, and the enemy to the United States. Believe me, Biden was. They knew what Biden was. He wasn't even there.
Nope, he was a shell.
Yeah,
Total
that's
shell.
what they needed. Yeah, and they tried to do the same thing with the giggler, the hyena.
The hyena.
Oh my God.
But they couldn't get her over the line. Well, they couldn't get her over the line because the data center in Belgrade, Serbia, was attacked by some brave people in the Department of Justice. But but the point is, we have this over-policing situation in the Department of Justice, and we're still going after the people where the prosecutions began under Biden, and they're going after the MAGA upper middle class. That's the worst of them, because that's the spear that helps lead the economy.
Yep.
That's the spear that funds campaigns. You know, we're not talking about the billionaires, but we're talking. I had one guy. He told me he had $115 million in his bank accounts, and they seized all of it. He wasn't guilty of anything, from what I could tell, but he couldn't afford to hire a lawyer. And because what happens to you when you start getting into the $100 million range and more, or if you have a specialization, or if you have a talent that you use, then you start using that talent.
That's right.
Whether, let's say Frank Sinatra's voice, okay? Yeah, somebody could really sing and do it right. And let's just say, so he doesn't polish his own shoes anymore because somebody else does it. Somebody else drives them. Somebody else does all this other stuff. You become incompetent. You're no longer a person who can do all the things that everybody can do, because the people that can do everything are doing those things for you while you do the thing that only you can do. And so that's what happens to people. This guy, he didn't know what to do. It's not like he could do his own legal work. So he ended up pleading guilty, getting time, and becoming broke.
And that's what they bank on, right? They bank on people feeling defeated and deflated and giving up. That's exactly what they do to people.
That's in the rule book. That's what they do. They are destroying the good people of America because they're our enemies. Believe me, China is behind this whole thing.
That's right.
And these are the people that unleashed a biological weapon of a virus on us in 2019, 20. And we know what they did, but nobody's looking at these things. Like I mentioned, the people that planned January 6th, nobody's charging them.
It's insane.
Nobody's looking at them. We have the videotapes where they're doing it.
But I think to what your point was, Peter, like the DOJ being so corrupt, it's like even if we had all the evidence to present, like are the Supreme Court justices going to rule properly? Are they following the Constitution? That's what's so scary, I think. Right? That's the problem. The corrupt DOJ.
Yeah, well, we got really three that are kind of like a little bit out there, and one that's a lot out there.
Right.
But I mean, we got one that doesn't know what a woman is.
That's right. Well, I am so sad because this is the episode's ending, and I'm so sad because we love hearing you. I am going to tell you that you're on a show with us on June 2nd with Sarah Carpenter, and I will be on with her. So I will see you soon on June 2nd on another show. Okay. But I do want to tell the audience where to find you. So if you guys can bring up Asset 4, that's where you can get to reach Peter at his law firm. There's a QR code there, and you can follow him on LinkedIn. You can find him Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram. But if you scan that QR code, it'll take you right to his law firm website, which is great, and you can sign up for his newsletter. And Peter, with so much to celebrate before June 1st, I am thrilled for this, and I will be reaching out to you, Adrian, because we want to get you on some more shows here to tell this story and fill in our audience. It's a story that needs
to be told for sure. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Yes.
Really.
Believe me, it's my pleasure. I'm so honored to be able to do some of the things I do. I can't believe I'm in the position I am to be able to help the people I help. And, that's how I look at it. I mean, we go through life. I mean, doesn't everyone want to be able to be helpful? I've had so many people ask me how they can, and I don't have answers for them necessarily.
Well,
and
God
to be in a
works
position
divinely.
where I can.
I think God put a calling on you to be brave and to help all these wonderful people. And we close our podcast with a prayer. If you want to stay on and listen to it, you're in the prayer. If you want to sign off, you're able to. But thank you. For what it's worth, we love you. To us, you're a hero, helping all the other heroes. Thank you, Peter, really.
Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you ready? All right. Dear Lord, we come before you with grateful hearts, lifting up two men who have dedicated their lives to truth, justice, accountability, and the defense of freedom. Lord, we pray for Peter Tickton, a man who has spent decades courageously standing for the underdog, fighting corruption, defending constitutional principles, and seeking justice even when the battles were difficult and unpopular. Thank you for the gifts, wisdom, and boldness you placed within him. Continue to strengthen his mind, protect his health, guide his words, and bless the work of his hands. Surround him with favor, discernment, and divine protection as he continues to stand for truth and advocate for those in need. We also lift up John Paul Moran, whose heart for reform, opportunity, and accountability has inspired so many. Thank you for giving him vision, innovation, and the courage to challenge broken systems in pursuit of fairness and empowerment for the American people. Bless his mission, his leadership, and the work being done through Go USA. May his efforts continue to awaken civic responsibility, encourage unity, and help restore integrity within our nation. Father, we also pray for our dear friend and fellow patriot Tavia. Bless her heart for service, her unwavering dedication to freedom, and the many roles she faithfully carries with Go USA and American Conservative Artists. Strengthen her spirit and her mission, and give her courage to inspire others and glorify you in all she does. And Father, we ask that you place a hedge of protection around all of these patriots, our families, the America First Warehouse, our military and first responders, President Trump and his administration. Bring unity and restoration upon the world and grant us all wisdom beyond human understanding, endurance during opposition, humility in success, and peace in every storm. Bless all those who continue to fight for freedom, truth, justice, and preservation of this great nation. May America turn back toward faith, righteousness, courage, and constitutional liberty. And Lord, may everything be done for your glory. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And as always, keep your faith strong, your family close, and your freedom alive. Thank you, Peter. We love you. God bless you. Everyone have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good?
Yeah.
We stand tall and free in the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be. America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the